all of our assets when we're gone, and how does it impact our families? Well, Marshall Clay with the Welsh Group is here to talk to us about a possible option, a trust.
Yes.
Is that a good option? What is
well,
a trust?
it can be. And,
Okay.
we've talked a lot in the past about the various ways that you can transfer assets to the next generation. We talked about wills. We talked about transferring via title of accounts, like joint accounts, for example.
Yeah.
And through beneficiary designations, which most of our viewers are familiar with their 401ks and insurance policies. Well, there's actually a separate, fourth option, and it's known as a trust. Okay?
Well, what is a trust exactly?
So it's actually a separate legal entity. So
Okay.
a grantor actually creates the trust, and what they do is they transfer authority over those assets to a trustee for the benefits of those beneficiaries that they want to transfer the money to. And so you may say, well, why would I need to do
What's
this?
the benefit
okay?
of that?
So a trust actually provides some protections, okay? It provides protections from tax, so there could be potential tax efficiency. Typically this is for folks who have larger amounts of money that are trying to kind of shelter tax, like primarily estate tax. But probably the one that I see most often is they're trying to protect the beneficiaries, not only from themselves. So if you're in a situation where you have a beneficiary who's not really good with money, they're very reckless, they spend money with reckless abandon, that could be a problem. A lot of times I see beneficiaries with substance abuse issues. We're seeing more of that, so they're trying to protect them there. But then also they're trying to protect the beneficiaries from maybe predatory spouses, divorce, or even creditors. That's a big one, right? So divorce unfortunately is happens about 50% of the time in marriage, so that's a big one.
And can you trust the people that you're getting a trust through? I mean, because you're going to be gone.
Those are very important decisions. Who you nominate as the trustee. A lot of times corporate trustees are nominated, and they have a legal fiduciary duty to the beneficiaries. So they have a legal obligation to abide by the rules set forth in the trust. So there's some legal duty there. And then there's a couple other protections, particularly for special needs children. A lot of times trusts are set up so that these special needs children can continue to receive government benefits.
And we got about 30 seconds or so left. What are some of the cons?
Cons. Well, there are costs, additional administrative costs. So there's typically separate accounting that has to occur. So you're having to do a separate expense for accounting. Typically, unless you have a family member who's willing to kind of volunteer as trustee, you're going to have to spend trustee fees. So this is something that you really need to talk to an attorney or a wealth manager about before you explore, because there are pros and cons. It sounds great when I'm talking about it on television, but it's definitely more nuanced. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be talking a little bit more in detail about some specific types of trust. So hopefully it'll offer.
I mean, it really is a great idea, something you don't really think about, but if your kids, they're not old enough to take responsibility of your money if you were to leave or something like that.
Trust. It's very true. It's very true. Yeah, there's a lot of evils, a lot of ways for money to get attacked out there in the world. So trust is potentially a good option.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. You know a lot more than I do. Glad you were here to explain it.